So this warm-up, of course, has us moving along with our writing of expressions, equations, and then, of course, solving them, substituting in for those going on here. Any time we deal with one of these, though, we definitely need to start with those expressions. And I mean, it tells us to right here, to write expressions using let statements. And we know we need to write 4 of them. Okay, so it tells us Hunter and Sam is shoveling snow, really extraneous information that we don't need. Sam shoveled snow for more than 25 minutes longer than Hunter. So which one do we need to know first? Technically, you could go with either one, but of course we want to go with Hunter first because Sam is 25 more than Hunter. So we have let M equal the number of minutes Hunter shoveled snow. Oops, sorry, Hunter. I think because I said snow, I had the S in my head. So Hunter shoveled snow. And then we know that Sam was 25 minutes longer. So let M plus 25 equal the number of minutes Sam shoveled snow. Both times I made the N look like an H. That's kind of funny. Okay, so the next person we have here is Faith. Faith was babysitting for her neighbor for twice as long as Sam shoveled snow. So we have let. Now, twice as long means that we need to double something, which means multiply by 2. And we need to be careful here because we're doubling how long Sam shoveled. So we need the entirety of that M plus 25. So that means it needs to be inside parentheses. So we're going to have let 2 times the quantity of M plus 25 equal the number of minutes Faith babysat. See, and it's irrelevant that she babysat and Hunter and Sam were shoveling snow because we're comparing the number of minutes that they did something. Okay, Ariel decided to spend money, wow, lucky her, instead of earning it. She was at the mall for 20 minutes longer than 3 times as long as Hunter shoveled. Well, 20 minutes longer, but that happens after 3 times. 3 times as long as Hunter shoveled. So we know that Hunter shoveled for M minutes, 3 times that, so it's 3M. And then 20 minutes more, so it's 3M plus 20. That equals the number of minutes Ariel was at the mall. Okay, so now that I've got everybody's expressions written, remember I just wrote 4 expressions. The purpose of my let statements is to describe those expressions. So here we are my 4 expressions, 4 let statements describing them. So the next page I have is if I know that Hunter shoveled snow for 45 minutes, how much time did everyone else spend on their weekend activities? So it's telling us that Hunter shoveled snow for 45 minutes, sorry. So that's basically telling us that M equals 45. So now I have to find out how long each person did everything. So I've got Hunter, Sam, Faith, and Ariel. Okay, so Hunter, the expression that we wrote for how long Hunter shoveled was M, semicolon to separate them, M equals 45. So it's 45 minutes for Hunter. Sam, the expression we wrote for Sam was M plus 25. Semicolon to separate them. M equals 45. I should have been careful when I wrote these. Sorry about that. Got 45 plus 25. 40 plus 20 is 60. Plus 5 plus 5 is 10. So 60 plus 10 is 70 minutes. Okay, moving right along. I'm going to draw another line to separate these because I know I overlap them a bit. Faith. Faith was 2 times as long as Sam. So we've got 2 times the quantity of M plus 25. I put my semicolon here to separate. I know that M equals 45. You need to show all your parts, folks, even though it's getting tight here. That was my fault, but I am trying to rectify it by drawing down my lines so that it can still be understood by other people, specifically you guys. So I'm going to substitute in. I've got 2 times the quantity of 45 plus 25. No shortcuts. You can't take shortcuts and not substitute in here, okay? So in parentheses first, 45 plus 25 is 70. So I've got 2 times 70. 2 times 70, 2 times 7 is 14. So 2 times 70 is 140 minutes. And finally, we've got Ariel's. And the expression we wrote for Ariel was 3M plus 20. Semicolon to separate. M equals 45. Sorry about this, guys. I'm going to substitute in 3 times 45 plus 20 more. 3 times 40 is what I'll start with. 3 times 40 I know is 120. 3 times 5 is 15. 120 plus 15 more is 135. Plus 20 more. 135 plus 20, of course, is 155 minutes. You can translate these into hours and minutes if you'd like, but at this point, we haven't been asked to, and it's really pretty irrelevant, so we don't need to do that. Okay, so the next thing. We know that Faith babysat for 180 minutes. How much time did everyone else spend on their activities? So this is different. Faith babysat for 180 minutes. Well, the expression we wrote for Faith is 2 times the quantity of M plus 25. And we are told that this, which is how much Faith was, it's the expression we wrote, is equal to 180 minutes. So the only way to figure out now what M is to work backwards, or backtrack as it would be called. So, first thing I want to do, I know that I always go from the outside in, the last thing first. So multiplying times 2, I always ask my question, what's the opposite? And what's the opposite of multiply times 2 would be divide by 2. These two cancel. Now remember, we need to treat that expression that's inside the parentheses as its entire entity by itself, okay? So those two have been canceled, so I'm therefore left with M plus 25. The other thing we could have done was distribute ahead of time, but there's unnecessary for us to do that. So I've got 180 divided by 2, which is 90. Now I've got M plus 25. I know the opposite of plus 25 is minus 25 on both sides. Keep my seesaw even. These cancel out. I'm left over here with M equals 90 minus 25. 90 minus 20 is 70. Minus 5 is 65. So I know that M is 65. So I'm going to start right here with Hunter. I know that Hunter, that's the second time I spelled Hunter wrong. I'm sorry, Hunter. Okay, so Hunter is simply the expression M. I know that M equals 65. So Hunter shoveled for 65 minutes in this case. Next, we have, after Hunter, we have Sam. The expression we wrote for Sam is M plus 25. I know that M is equal to 65 now. 65 plus 25. I like to do 60 plus 20, which is 80. And then 5 plus 5 is 10. So 80 plus 10 is 90 minutes. Now, I already did Faith, but let's do it again. That's kind of our way to check, make sure we got it right. You know, the expression for Faith is 2 times the quantity of M plus 25. M equals 45. 2 times the quantity of 45 plus 25. Well, 45 plus 25 is 70. So, oh no, it's not 45 now. Goodness gracious. 65. I knew something looked familiar. Sorry about that. Good thing I didn't get too far. 60, and that is a 5. This is 65. 65 plus 25, I know is 90, so it's 2 times 90. That is a parentheses. 2 times 90 is 180 minutes. And that's good because that's exactly what it should be over here. And then finally, we've got Ariel. The expression we wrote for Ariel is 3m plus 20. We know that m is equal to 65. Paying attention this time. 3 times 65 plus 20. 3 times 65, well, 3 times 60 is 180. 3 times 5 is 15. 180 plus 15 more is 195. Plus 20. Well, 195 only needs 5 more to get to 200. Take that 5 away from the 20, leaves me with 15. So that's 215 minutes. And there we go. We've done all the parts.